So recently, we got about a billion different gaming announcements, and I'm actually pretty hyped for a lot of them. The best Marvel Tokon team yet, with the Knights of Doom, Persona 6, new Cuphead, new Star Wars strategy game. Great stuff all around, but that's not actually what I'm here to talk about. You might have noticed that both Sony and Microsoft seem to be getting a bit more selective about which games they bring to PC. Gears of War E-Day, God of War Lofty, neither of them look like they're gonna hit Steam anytime soon. My guess is that Valve has got something to do with it. For years, Sony and Microsoft treated PC gaming as an entirely separate market. If they put a game on Steam, great, more sales, more players, everybody wins. But that calculation starts to change when Valve announces stuff like SteamOS and the Steam Deck. Suddenly, releasing your exclusives on Steam isn't just reaching a wider audience, it's helping the competition. Now, I'm a PC gamer myself, have been for about 8 years at this point, so you might think I'm furious about all of this. I'm actually down for it. Why? Well, let me explain myself, but first, if you enjoyed the video, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Let's get into it. You see, people often talk about how entertainment feels disposable nowadays. A new game comes out, everybody loses their minds for like 2 weeks, people make YouTube essays calling it the game of the year, and then everybody just kind of moves on like it was nothing. Flavor of the month is the term you hear being thrown around. Ironically, I think part of that has to do with just how easy it is to access everything. Digital distribution and the slow death of exclusives mean that within 5 minutes you could play the new Halo and the new God of War. Unless you were filthy rich enough to buy both an Xbox and a PlayStation, nobody in the 2000s could do that. Matter of fact, think back to those times. You want a new game? Great. Go to the store, buy a physical copy, bring it home, and pray nobody scratched that disc. That time and money investment made people care about the things they bought. They replayed games, they learned every secret, they talked about them for years. Hell, I still got fond memories of Mortal Kombat Deception, the first game I ever bought with my own allowance money. I didn't just beat arcade mode once and put it down, I played everything that bitch had to offer. Console exclusives amplified that effect. If you had a PS2, chances are you spent a lot of time with Ratchet & Clank, Sly Cooper, and Jak and Daxter. If you had an Xbox, you were out here playing Halo, Fable, and Ninja Gaiden Black. The console you owned helped shape your gaming identity, and in turn, it also helped you try out games that you might not have otherwise. If you gave Sony enough money to buy a console, chances are you're pretty confident in their ability to make good games. And that's where we get to the thing people constantly overlook about exclusives. Most casual gamers don't buy consoles because of specs. PC is always going to win that fight anyway. Price is a huge factor, sure, but between two consoles with similar prices, there's just one thing that's going to seal the deal: the games. Nobody bought a Switch 2 because they thought it was the most powerful machine on the market. Hell, they didn't buy it because it's especially cheap either. They bought it because they wanted Mario, Zelda, Metroid, Pokemon, etc. The hardware was just the admission ticket. The real show was the software. And when every platform has a unique identity, something interesting happens. Competition gets better. We saw that with the console wars. Now, don't get me wrong. Being a cheerleader for an international mega corporation has never sat right with me. It's not like I'm waking up every morning thinking about how to bump up Nintendo's quarterly earnings report. But competition between those companies? That's a different story. Back in the day, people argued endlessly over which platform had the better exclusives. Even third-party games got dragged into the fight. Resident Evil 4 was multi-plat, for example, but everybody debated which version was the best. You want Darth Vader in Soul Calibur 4? Better grab the PS3 version. You want Yoda? 360's that way. Every console had a reason to exist, and every platform had a different vibe. But then things started changing. After the 360 era, Microsoft's first-party titles got pretty weak. Killer Instinct's fire, of course, but what else did they have? A bunch of just okay RPGs? Add to that, Phil Spencer pushed the everything is an Xbox strategy. Exclusives started launching on PC almost immediately. Sony followed suit by bringing many of its biggest titles to Steam. And from a consumer perspective, that's convenient. You only need to buy a gaming PC and boom, now you got access to all the games you want. But it removes each console's individual identity. Xbox is the perfect example. It's objectively powerful hardware, probably the most impressive console on the market from a technical standpoint. And yet, they just didn't have a lot of interesting games. And even if you were interested in an Xbox exclusive, just buy it on PC. This, along with some pretty ridiculous prices, meant that the machine consistently lagged behind the competition. When Halo was announced to be coming to PlayStation, everybody knew the console wars were over. Sony became known for big, movie-like single-player experiences. Nintendo became known for polished, family-friendly exclusives and unique hardware. Back in the 2000s, the Xbox was the home of military shooters, tough-as-nails ninja games, and volleyball games featuring half-naked babes. It was the hardcore gaming console for your cool older brother who plays guitar. But recently, it seems like even Xbox doesn't know what the hell they're all about. That's why I'm actually interested in the direction they're heading in now. Asha Sharma, the new CEO, seems to be going all in on 2000s nostalgia and exclusivity. If they can actually make exclusives that people care about and fix their pricing, I think they can become a serious threat to Sony and Nintendo. And that's just good for everybody. A few years ago, I was perfectly content owning just a gaming PC. But if Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo are all aggressively competing to create unique console experiences, now I got options and they got my attention. Because here's the golden rule. If megacorps are locked in a brutal cage match to see who can make the best product, you and I are about to eat good. If they're all buddies, we're about to get screwed harder than an OnlyFans model. Yes, it would be more convenient to be able to own every game in one platform, but convenience isn't always the best. It'd be more convenient to just drive everywhere, but your heart would probably appreciate it if you took a walk now and then. Also, let's be real, you put more value on things that are harder to get. It's just human psychology. The reason Nintendo keeps making Zelda, the reason Sony keeps making God of War, the reason Microsoft keeps making Halo and Gears is because they need something their competitors don't have. Competition isn't when everybody offers the same exact thing. It's when everybody is trying to outdo each other. And if several major gaming companies are in direct competition with each other for my money, I'm perfectly happy with that scenario, because it means we're more likely to get games, not content. But that's just my take. What about you guys? Do you like console exclusives? Which console did you grow up with? Let me know in the comments. As usual, if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. See you next time.